Welcome back, folks, to the Kerbal Space Program. Today on the Kerbal Space Program, we shall be doing things that I have seen be done, but I have not yet done with our LP Space Program, and that is a space station. We're going to launch the beginnings of a space station into space. I know. Terrifying, isn't it? So what we want to do is we want to launch this little bit here, this octo, and put it here. You may be wondering, what are you doing? You're sticking it in a very odd place. And the answer is, I'm thinking about a design for a center part of a space station. And it's going to be an unmanned ship voyage, so there's not going to be any silly... In fact, if I'm going to make it unmanned, I've got to do this properly. I've got to have this bit here. Like that. And... okay, pretty much, a space station is designed in this game to launch... You launch up, you dock with the space station, and the space station allows you to refuel, prepare yourself for a journey, and basically it can make journeys later on a lot simpler because you don't have to break out of Kerbin's atmosphere. If you can design a ship, no, not four. If you can design a ship that manages to get out of the atmosphere pretty easily and doesn't break up, once you're there, you can dock with the space station, refuel any fuel you don't have, and then go off, as if you started your journey, except you're in orbit of Kerbin, and you don't have to worry about breaking out of orbit, or stages, or atmosphere, and it's just much better, I've found. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick these clamping things on. We haven't dealt with these before. You can couple and decouple magnetically with them. That's pretty good, I thought. Now, you may wonder, I've made a ship here, and I'm sticking a bit on top. Is this thing going to be very unbalanced? And the answer to my question is yes. This thing is going to be horrendously unwieldy and difficult. It's not going to be the most pretty of launches. However, it is probably going to be a pretty decent actual takeoff, if you get my meaning. Once it's actually in space, it will do the job. Do that. Have a xenon tank. And a xenon engine. And a... where are they? Control pods. We want a small one of these. Just like here. Just fit that nicely on top and balance it on so it doesn't... There we go. That looks good. Sort of. It will do. Now we have a xenon tank there, as you can see, but what are we going to do with this thing? It's going to be a solar array, pretty much. This thing is going to have tons of solar panels. 4 Gigantor solar panels, to be exact. With these 4 solar panels, we're not yet done. 4 solar panels isn't enough. We need some more. We need 2 more solar panels here, which reflects to 2 more there. And we need 2 more on the other side too. That results in a grand total of a bajillion solar panels. bajillion solar panels will be more than sufficient. But Kiko, what are you going to put on the other side here? Another docking clamp? No. Something completely superfluous, which is one of these. For communication. We want to get this, I'm pointing at my screen, you can't see it, into space. You can see how wobbly it's going to be, how wibble it's going to be, and how pretty unwieldy it's going to be. Not going to be an easy thing to put into space. We're going to need a fairish amount of thrust. You're going to need a lot of thrust, actually. So, let's grab this, lift it up some more, and put a mainsail on. And we're sticking with the old faithful. Lots of thrust, aiming up. Lots of thrust, aiming up. Using double separators, like this. You've seen the double separators before, you've seen me build this step before, but you haven't seen a few other things I've been thinking of adding on these. And you'll see those in a moment. Well, before we deal with the basics. Million SAS modules, like that. And a few more SAS modules, like that. And all the separatron, the decouplers to keep this thing from falling to pieces. And actually more to keep this top part from falling off too. Because the top part will break off if I let it. Which I won't. We're also going to reach way into here. I'll put one connecting it to the inside, like that. We're not done yet. Nearly done, though. So all these go into one massive stage together. But we still do not have enough thrust. Oh no, we need more. We need more thrust to get this up into space. In come these hydraulic detachment bits. We should really save this as space station core launcher, because it should work. We hope it works. I hope it works. You hope it explodes, probably. You really hope it does explode. But I think we have a parcel coming. It's not bad, it's a pretty good time to deliver it. Higher. There, good enough. So now, we fire all these with them. Make this a separate section, like that. And those should all fire, that'll separate off. Launch that bit off, and hopefully we'll get this into space. So when we come back, folks, I'll be launching this into space. There might be some explosions. I would be careful. And here we are at Kerbal Space Control, and the top bit will wobble substantially. But that's okay. We'll activate our SAS and watch this. Boom! Lift off! Massive quantities of thrust Kikoskia uses the good old-fashioned theories on rocket travel, which is just enough rockets just aiming straight up. And you'll have more than enough thrust to do anything you could possibly need it to do. Brilliant theory, this. Can't possibly go wrong, except in all the ways it could go horribly wrong. And you can see I'm only on just a little under half throttle here, and you can actually get quite a lot of thrust this way. Quite a lot of thrust up. We'll have a space station, and then we can do more complicated missions. We don't need it for complicated missions around nearby, but... Oh, and boom! There go all those. And we're still thrusting up, and I think it's soon time to do my gravity turn. The thing on the top is wobbling slightly. Not a fan of its wobble. Going to be honest there, not a fan of the wobble there. Something happened. The engines became more meaty. Did something snap off? No, nothing snapped off. So we're just putting this into orbit. It's... if we can get it there. Gotta be careful, because this thing is attached only by a massive magnet. If that massive magnet has a problem, it will just snap that thing off. And bye-bye, the core of our space station will go. And nobody wants to see that. Oh, it is spinning quite a bit. It is spinning quite a bit. I don't like that. Don't like all the spin we're getting. We'll just get as much thrust out as we possibly can. There we go, 59. Seems good. We'll separate all that off. And... ready the next stage. Ah! Now we come across the problem with this ship. The problem with it is that there's so much aiming up, as you can see there, that I actually can't pilot it very well. However, we have a lot of time to pilot it. See, there's where we'd want to burn if we want to destroy the orbit, which is not ideally what we want to do. Don't really feel like destroying the orbit today. Or ever. So, let's just turn away. We should activate some solar panels now, considering this is a unmanned flight. Don't want the thing to run out of fuel like I have done before when launching missions. Like, oh, this mission is going so well, I hope nothing bad happens, and then you forgot to activate your solar panels, and you run out of everything. It makes some tears. So... okay. There. It does pilot moderately, sort of. Once it's actually slowed down, we don't have long to actually start making this orbit. We want a pretty equal orbit, as equal as we can make it. It doesn't have to be geostationary. Not that I could ever make many good geostationary orbits. We're going to use a small amount of thrust to gain more control. And more control was indeed gained by thrusting. There we go. Burning at the 90 degrees angle will give us the most bang for our thrusting buck. And we'll thrust. And hopefully create an orbit. Without the ship wobbling itself to death. I don't have any SAS on this. That might actually help in the future. Like I thought I forgot to put SAS on the space station. Should be alright. Look at that! Look at all the fuel that we have spare. This is more than enough fuel. way too much. Might have to slim this this down. Here we have an orbit. And pow, orbit gained. Let's make it about, I don't know, stop there. What's this at? 100 and what's that at? Let's find it. 103? I think this is about 130 then. There's Jeb. He's just chilling out. Okay, let's try and turn this. You don't have much thrust on this end on this ship. It's not easy to turn. It's not easy to turn at all. In fact, one might think that we could just jettison that away, but I really don't want to. I'd rather not have to jettison it. Yeah, it's quite cool. The rim of the sun's rays. Well, this is dark. Dark side of Kerbin. No Kerbin ever goes there. For fear of death that soft, Nori bear warriors. So, we shall just alter this orbit. And yes, it's well past the apoapsis, I know. Perhaps you should alter it to about 150 or 140 and then decelerate on the other side. $145. There we go. Now what we do is, considering that we have a fairish amount of momentum here going, we turn, and we keep turning, because now we have some turn going. And with said turn, we reach, so we're facing the opposite way. Lock ourselves in there, and then fast forward till we're on the other side, and because we're on the retroburn here, we'll be on the we'll be on the, what am I doing? What am I doing? I don't know, but I've got to be on retroburn on this side, not proburn. Kikoskia has no idea what he's talking about. News at 10. So we just got to degrade this orbit, and then we should pretty much be able to just launch the satellite. Space station. Maybe I could put Jeb in there. Just launch Jeb up into the space station. Have him be the crew a bit. Then he'll be perfectly safe. And still involved in the space program. If you guys want me to do that, just let me know, and I'll get it done. We'll launch him up in the habitation module. All we need to do is get him there. Oh, this thing still pilots like an elephant through treacle. It's because that massive fuel pod on the end is sort of making it... If this was gone, this thing would pilot pretty easily. But it's not gone. It's here, and it's here to stay. Here we go. Nearly there. Let's start thrusting now, shall we? 470. 430. 3. 2. 1. Oh wow, we sort of decayed that a little too much there. I get the feeling I finally need to jettison this. Now which one is this? That's that engine. So we separate that out. Put that there. Switch that there. Jettison that part. End the flight. Because we don't want that anymore. Go to the tracking station. Let's hope this doesn't lock out the game. No, it seems like it's doing well. Ish. There we go. Does it pilot better without the massive fuel on the end? The answer to that question is a resounding yes. It pilots far better. Yes, it has much less fuel. And you may wonder, why have I bothered putting fuel here? Because all these bits cross-feed into each other quite nicely, which pretty much means that when they are connected up together in this massive space station, it will allow all of the parts to feed together. And SAS to get a bigger orbit. Could always put it at 160 meters. Or we can shrink this a little more. I don't think this is turning out too badly at all. Where's Jeb? Can't see him. Never a good sign. We'll have to see what happened to Jeb. Jeb had better not be dead. Certainly shouldn't be. Can't see him. I should really land that experimental alpha craft at some point. Did I actually design it to land? I hope so. I hope I did. Well, let's find out. We'll find out soon. Probably next video when I'm launching the next part of the satellite up. I'll just land the experiment alpha. I'll see if it can actually land. See that? That is a good orbit. That's a brilliant orbit, that. So now, we straighten the thing out. And with this orbit all good, we do the final stage, which is decouple. Now this becomes its own separate part, its own separate spaceship. We extend every single solar panel. Now you get to see why I put all these solar panels on the thing. So then it can look like a real space station. It's unmanned right now. It won't be unmanned forever. And activate the communitron. Now look at that. That is a space station. This part we can just order to crash land into the planet now. It has achieved all it needs to. We could actually dock with this, and just clamp them back together, but there's no need to right now. Right now, the only thing we need to do with this thing is crash it. Oh, that's awful. Look what I've done. Shouldn't have done that. But I have. Great! I just bumped it straight into it. It's like, sorry, got places to beam! Destroyed the solar panels. Brilliant. So that is how you launch a space station. That is also how you destroy half of its solar panels. Great. I'll launch another one up, I think, in my spare time. One that isn't going to be completely destroyed. So when we come back, folks, I just need to check if Jeb is still alive. Yeah, he's okay. Good! So I'll launch another space station core up and not destroy the solar panels like a space lunatic. And then we'll see about getting this thing to have more parts. So till then, folks, that was launching the core of a space station, and how not to disengage from blasting into the core of a space station. And I'll catch you next time. See you later.